Okay.
I'm just checking we're live.
Yeah, it says live on Facebook.
Oh, meeting now streaming live on Facebook. Awesome, that's marvelous. So hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to part 2 in our series of interviews with Aleksandra Encheva in terms of relationships. So my name is Sarah Gilhooly and I work alongside Dr. Tony Quinn, who is the originator of the EDUCO model. And Al was one of the graduates from our recent EDUCO seminars, and she is along to talk to us about relationships. She's doing a series of talks about relationships over the next number of weeks. So this is part 2. And last week, we spoke about the ultimate relationship. We talked about that relationship with that power inside and the difference that it makes and why it is the ultimate relationship and why it's so important. But I think tonight we'd love to hear from you, Al, in terms of how that then means that you operate when you have a relationship with this true nature and this power inside, how that then allows you or compels you even to operate differently. So I shall hand over to you now, and maybe you'll talk a little bit about that, please.
That's brilliant. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everyone online. Hello to Belize. I promised to say hello. So hello, everybody again. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation about relationships. And I'm truly convinced that relationships, if done properly, can save the world. It can change it in an instant. And I also believe that relationships are actually with a purpose, and that purpose is actually much higher than what we know, and that purpose of relationship is actually of exploring further that power within each one of us. And I spoke about the power last time, but it is compelling me to say more about that and what it feels like to operate from that place, and even the difference of how it feels to actually operate from the power that everybody is talking about, yet it's still missing. Because if every single person operated from that self, from that higher self, from that power within, I believe that the world would be a very, very different place. Just to say it like this, I will repeat it again for people who haven't seen any of our videos. What is this power that I'm talking about? I came aware of this power within me on the seminar, the EDUCO seminar, in July. And this power, if unleashed, no, I'm talking about real business. I'm not talking about just talking about it. I'm actually talking about the physical unblocking or unleashing of that power. That if this power is unleashed, it educates you, it guides you, it guards you, it directs you in every area of your life, but also it has the abilities to make you aware and bring different types of feelings through. And I'm talking about real feelings. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of last video, I had inquiry from a very young gentleman, and he actually asked me to speak more about unconditional love. Okay, so I'll say it like this. This power that lays inside each one of us, it has a nature, it has a direction, and that same nature and direction of it is actually what is out there and the pattern of the universe. So if you imagine you have a small piece of the universe right inside of you that's laying dormant, and that's how I see it. Every single one of us has it, and that's why I feel compelled to tell people, and I feel compelled to tell them how it feels from my point of view, operating from that power. And everybody talks about this, yet I don't believe that anybody has actually completely actually felt in complete touch with that and is actually living from it. As we know, people have been talking about it, and everything that humanity does nowadays, including meditation, relaxation, yoga, working out, better health styles, everything is actually to access this power, because we somehow know and there is some kind of information out there. But the truth is that we're missing out the point, because nobody's really getting there. When I went to the seminar, I was told how to access that power through applying something called unconscious attention. And through applying deeper states and deeper states of that unconscious attention, I became in real touch with my essence. And that hasn't changed since. So I've stayed with that self, if you wish, that legendary self that everybody's looking for, that everybody is talking about, that everybody is leading towards or looking for in various ways of things that are done in their lives. Yet I can say that I genuinely and generally am living from that place of being in constant, deepest connection with that power, to the way and to the point where it actually comes through me in everything that I do and everything that I say, and I allow it to guide me and to to actually be in touch with it. So like my interest became very different. My interest became of being in connection with that power, and because of that relationship between me and the power, I can actually close my eyes, or not even close my eyes, and I can actually ask it to come up, and it feels like an instant energy rush, and it feels like an instant like a brightening, clearing effect, and an instant energizing of the body. So I'm not just talking about something, this is actually real. And when I call up the power, it also has the ability to respond to me. So it's not just it's not just there, it actually is something that responds. And that's the most extraordinary thing that I've come across in my experience of life, where I can actually talk to that deeper part of me, to that bigger part of me. I can access it, and it responds to me. That is honestly the most extraordinary thing. And honestly, and it responds to me. And the reason why I would ask anything of it is because it has this enormous intelligence that comes with it. And it, I can even ask it to be happy. So I'm like, okay, I just want to feel even happier. So then I instantly become happier. It really works like that. All I need to do is just think of happiness, and I don't need anything to make me happy. So why I'm saying this, I feel like if every single one of us as the human beings were made and allowed to understand the true potential that they hold within each one of them, that we won't be operating in the way we are. Because how people are operating is they're operating from the place of lack. And that's why I understand the world is a displace. But if everyone was operating from their own power, and they were in connection with their own power, and living from that power is a different way of living, because you just feel different towards people. Because once you come in contact with that power within yourself, you understand its essence, and you understand that there is no division between anybody, that all of us are one. And the only thing that you would want to do is literally bring everyone to this place of knowing of how powerful each one of us is. So that, I guess, that I wanted to make sure that I'd say the difference of how I was operating before and how I operate now is, now I operate from the power, and that has changed me, because that power has got an intelligence. It also has a pattern of unity, of unconditional love, of pure joy and happiness, and you can bring those in instant. I can say I want to feel happier. I just want to do a small demonstration like that I don't need anything to make me happier, but I can also bring up love, and I can also bring up a unity, and I can bring up the white light that everybody's talking about. Well, I live in it. I live in that white light. I can close my eyes and an instant I can bring it up, because that power responds. But the, I mean, it wasn't like that before, hey? So the reason why I feel like everybody should know about it is, I feel like if everybody experience themselves, the true nature, the true self, which is that innate power that is given to you, that is given to us as a humanity, and that everybody's talking about, but I'm actually talking here for real. Yeah, I dare to say it because I'm there. I'm talking here, this is for real. This is not a talking about something legendary. I'm experiencing it every single day. When I wake up and I feel that power. I can look in my hands and I can feel the power rushing through me all over. I mean, to me, valuing this relationship with the self is become number one priority, because I know that from this place, when I'm in connection with my own power and I can talk to it and it responds, then I can also talk to another person's power and it will respond to me if the person is clear enough. And that's why this is the foundation of power relationships. I'm talking a power to power relationship, not a conscious mind to conscious mind relationship, or not how we've been brought up to think that relationships are for someone who, you know, you get someone to pay the mortgage with and then have children and stuff. And this is all very beautiful. Don't believe that people should be separate and living in their own power. No, no, no. But it is one thing if you operate from your own power and it can actually respond to you, can actually experience it, that power that is within you, then you can actually see it and look for it in another being, in another person, and try to bring that power out of them. So you would naturally know what to say to this person. And imagine if you're having a relationship with your child. When you look at your child and you can look at it and you can search for that power, for that gold inside the child, and you can bring it out even further, you know. And that's ultimately how I feel relationships could be. And there is much more to it, of course, but I can't cover everything in one go. So, you know, instantly and ultimately is that relationship of the power. The power is inside each one of us. I'm living from that power that responds to me. I can bring it up in instant. All I need to do is just become aware of it and ask it to come up, and it comes up in an instant. You know, I can ask of it anything, and also it gives me directions. And I know that these directions, in a way of even from what to eat to what to do in general, I know are the directions that are best for my higher self, if you wish. These are the things that I know I'm 100,000% sure are the best for me. So yeah, I can keep talking.
Well, Al, I think what you're talking about is fascinating for people out there, because honestly, I mean, in normal ways when people look for a relationship, they might even have like a little checklist of things they're looking for in a relationship. And what you're talking about is a game changer, because ultimately what we should be looking for in a relationship is that power in the other person, that light in the other person. And when we discover it in ourselves, then we can see it in others. And then when that comes together, it's a completely different type of relationship, as you said, power to power. I mean, so this is a game changer in terms of what you're talking about. But one of the things that I'd love you to talk a little bit more about for people is that, you know, you touched on a little bit about how people talk about this area rather than coming out of this power. And I think that's huge for people to understand, because I know there are so many disciplines in the world and so many different areas where people are in search of that power, or they're talking about it. And what you're essentially showing people and allowing people to see is the fact that you can experientially experience that power and come from it, which is completely different to talking about it. So maybe you might chat a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, of course, with pleasure. I mean, honestly, guys, this is the only reason why I'm doing this interviews and everything. I just felt like I had to almost step up the game, because I believe that if all the disciplines that are talking about the power were actually able to bring people to experience their true power, this world will be a game over. Honestly, this world will be a very, very different place. Because what happens is when you access that power, you then become to live from a different place of consciousness. So you expand your consciousness, where you actually can see that, for example, you can actually see, I'm talking from a personal experience, so I can actually see when one thought is just a thought. So if a thought pops up in my head, I can look at it and I'll be like, nah, I'm not having that. Yeah. Instead, I can also say, I can look at the thoughts that will support me in my journey or in my bettering of the life of humanity. And I can choose, okay, I'm going to think that. So what happens then, every single thought out there is just an old matrix thoughts. You know, I call it matrix. You know, Sarah, we call it matrix, right? Because it is like that. People are stuck in something that they're not aware of, and they're trying to break free in some way. Some people are trying to break free. Some people are actually not even aware they're stuck in something. It is the system that is very, very old, and every single thought that is out there is just a knowledge. And that knowledge doesn't bring you to actually realizing who you are, because knowledge is let's say, it comes from the mind, comes from the thinking mind, comes from the analytical mind. And I'm not saying that knowledge is bad, but you cannot access the power through knowledge. No, you cannot access it. You can only access your true power when you are actually in a state of not thinking. And knowledge is just another way of thinking. Yeah, everything that everyone says out there is exactly correct. Yes, but it's just a word. It's just a word. You get to access your power through the power. And in order for you to access your power, you have to have absolutely no thoughts. Because then your mind, actually your conscious mind, opens the doorway to your unconscious mind. And this is where you actually begin to experience, it's an experiential, your true power. So you actually start unleashing your power. And so I'll give smallest example. Say, for example, just before you go to bed and you're just about falling asleep, and then you have this twitch of like, and you're like, you wake up and, you know, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I had this like a dream, like I'm falling down. Now that's just when your mind in such a state of no thinking, just as you're drifting off to sleep, you don't think anything. Then your body starts releasing your own power. So your body is electricity, and you have this force inside of you. But the reason why you can't access this is because of your mind, of your clock thoughts and everything. Nobody can really stop their mind from thinking. I'm sure that's why people meditate, because if they could stop their mind from thinking, they wouldn't think anyway, because they know that thinking is not the way to access yourself. So I'm talking that read the difference between talking about something, no matter how right and truthful is a very different place where you have done it, you are there, and you're coming from it. It's a very different place. It's a very different presence. And the reason why EDUCO seminars made the difference for me is because Dr. Tony Quinn operates from the power. He actually uses the power physically. Yeah, and he can unleash and unblock you just by tapping on your chakras. And that is power in action. Yes, words have got certain power to them if they're said correctly, That is correct. But the actual difference is that words can only take you that far in actually getting in contact with yourself. And I'm aware that people can dedicate all of their lives to just glimpse the light for a second. And I know because Bob, a friend of ours who is also an EDUCO, he's done martial arts for so long, and he was actually talking about his grandmother who has dedicated all of her life in meditation. After meditation, that's days of meditation. I'm not talking just 30 minutes like we would do now. And she had very, very small glimpses of the light sometimes, not always. And he's done the same all of his life. I never done meditation before, but I can close my eyes and I can instantly see the light like I am now. That is a huge difference. I'm speechless. I honestly don't know what else to think. That is the difference. And when something is coming from a person that's only talking from knowledge, it's only that far that it can take you into your quest of experiencing more of yourself, where I can understand why people wouldn't grasp their mind straight away around it. It's really simple as that. Okay, if I'm a coach and I'm a fitness coach and I want to train you and I'll show you exercises, but if I'm not fit myself, how likely is it that this person can train you? Well, for you to get results. And the other way, if you have a fitness coach who is absolutely stunning in a way of his physique or her physique, you would know instantly that this person, I want this person to train me, because if they look like that, then surely they can do something for me. It's the same way with every single discipline. If you're looking for the power, if you're looking for enlightenment, if you're looking to come closer to your contact with your own self, you have to look for places where these people have done it already. And it's not just me. It's like, I believe true nature people are 93 of us at the moment. Am I correct? Yeah. So the true nature is just literally your power being completely uncovered and living from this true nature, which is unheard of. I believe people are talking about it, and they spoke about it many times. I know the Buddha spoke about it, Christ spoke about it, and that has been absolutely phenomenal. But that was 1,000 years ago, and everything now evolves. So does the power. What was relevant those days now is also relevant, but is so much more advanced. Would you think that the universe doesn't evolve in thousands of years? Honestly. But yet the information that people are using is only that of the past. How further can that take us? Well, I know from all of the Buddhism and what Buddha was trying to do himself, I believe there was only one person who came close to his level. Like basically, how much you can pass on your level to a person is exactly how good you are. And I'm not saying in any way that he wasn't. Oh my God, he was sensational for that time. Yet I believe power is also evolving, and we have to evolve with it. And the first step is really to know that there is this power that is available for you, that can do things for you that you never imagined. That this power is actually real, tangible. That this power, your soul, if you wish to call it, however it appeals to you. I call it my power, my essence, my true nature, my everything. It's my everything. And I do everything in order to make sure that it's happy, that I don't have any thoughts that are not in alignment with it. So that is the relationship I'm talking about. But even just starting, for anybody who's just starting to begin to look for something more, okay, I'm going to tell you there are many, many steps taking further, and that can take you further into discovering that more and more and more. But number one and most important is just to know that it's possible, just to know that there's this power inside of you, This girl is doing it, that she's already, she's already got there, she's living it from it. It's not just me. Oh my God, there's Sarah, there's everybody. Like we've got 93 people who are actually on this level of living from true nature. That also there is this person out there that can actually access your power and help you move forward, activate your power, and I'm talking, this person has actually done it all of his life, and he's used the power. He's done it through God knows how long time, for all of his life and more. I'm just saying that this is actually possible. What everybody's talking, actually, I'm not talking it, I'm living it. And everything that comes through that, I believe everybody will resonate in some way. Might be a feeling you will get. There might be an understanding you will get. There might be like a white, bright light. Oh my God, of course. But it only makes sense to me. And I understand that the more people are living from this level, from this true nature level, the more the world would change to be a better place, because every person would then realize how incredibly unique, powerful, amazing, magnificent they are. They won't need to hate each other. They won't need to envy each other. They would just love each other and support each other and want the best, knowing that there is no real separation between us. This power is one power. We are made of it. And it's actually possible for you to become closer to it. No, not even closer to actually live from that power on a daily basis. And the joy, the happiness, the love, the unity, the brightness of everything looks very different. The things that I used to do before, it's like I've never done them before. I don't know where I was. My mind was caught up in something that was like thoughts. Like every person out there is actually trapped in thoughts. So the things that you actually do, you are not even registering half of it, not even half of it. I watch movies that I've seen twice or 3 times before, and I watched it and it's like I've seen it for the first time. Well, can you imagine what's happening to the people that you live with, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your children? Do you actually see them? Do you actually get to really experience them? Or are you just trapped in your thoughts about them? That's the difference. It's the real living. For when this power is out and you operate from it, it's a very different feeling. It will compel you to be a better person. No, it makes you an instant. And I'm not saying I'm amazing. Oh my God, not at all. But when I'm coming from the power, it is genuine, it is true, because my personality is not here. And the personality would be just your thoughts, even thoughts about yourself. Oh, do I look all right? Am I saying it okay? Or anything. When you come from the power, you don't have that because it's so pure. But I think the most unique and the most amazing thing of everything is that people have spent millennia of coming close to glimpses of this. People are practicing yoga to unblock one chakra by one chakra by one chakra in order to experience the Kundalini. People are doing martial arts for days and years to actually come close to the chi, to the ki, the chi in the martial arts form, People in meditation are looking for the light. Yet I can close my eyes and I experience it and I see it instantly, and it's there all the time. And I can bring it up as high as I want or as low as I want. That energizes you instantly. That is true power. I mean, honestly, if I have a thought, I just bring up the power and I say no thinking and no thought. That's it. It's really that simple. That's an instant meditation. For those who think that they need to spend, oh my God, I never was in meditation. I thought this is a waste of time. How can I spend my hours of my day trying to meditate? I just couldn't quiet my mind. I couldn't face meditation. Whereas now, it's an instant, there is no thoughts in my head. That is total instant meditative state called Muga state. something you learn all the time when you go on the seminar, the EDUCO seminar. You know, there's so much to us as human beings. I trust and I believe that this power is the only thing that can truly make a difference, that can unstick patterns that you've been stuck for years. I'm telling you out of personal experience. And then you just become a different being that wants it for everyone.
That's super. Thank you so much, Al. And I think, you know, everybody in the world can relate to the idea of looking for the one. And if people realize that the one is actually that life, that power inside of you, when you discover that yourself and you can see it in others, then it changes all relationships. It's incredible. And I'm really excited about what's to come next week and what you're going to talk about. And I know we're going to have plenty of time over the next few weeks to delve even further into this. And I know how passionate you are about this area, so I know certainly people will love to hear it. So thank you so much for this evening, and we'll explore it further. And I think maybe next week we might chat to people about the idea of a power relationship and action, and how, you know, people at a level of true nature where they're actually coming from their true nature. We might explore that a little bit more next week as well. What can actually happen when they talk to that power in each other. So that would be very exciting for people, I think. But thank you so much for this evening, and thank you to everybody who's online listening. And please share this online, and share this with anybody you think might be interested in finding the one, because they might be intrigued and fascinated to discover what the one actually is. So thank you very much, Al, and we will catch you guys next week. Thank you.